Hey guys, Paulo here. If you've been following the channel, you know I'm a big fan of beautiful displays, and it took me several months to figure out what would be the perfect secondary monitor for my setup. Now, as a marketing professional and as someone who is open to trying new stuff, this unconventional display by LG really stands out. Stick around because this might just be the perfect monitor for you. This is the DualUp Ergo by LG, and it is amazing. So just a quick summary on why I'm doing this video. Basically, when I relaunched the channel earlier this year, I started off with a studio tour that represented my personality and my take on what my perfect studio would be. And throughout the months, I've been adding stuff here and there throughout my studio. And I thought, you know what, this might be a good opportunity to start making a series talking about all the different stuff that I put into my studio and stuff that I incorporate into my daily routine. That includes stuff that I do for marketing, stuff that I do for productivity, and even just for the leisurely stuff, even for gaming and stuff that people enjoy, listening to music, watching videos, watching live concerts and stuff like that. Going back into the series, I thought I can start releasing some overviews on the stuff that I use on a daily basis. And this monitor today is going to be one of them. So if this is something that you're really interested in, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to start doing stuff like this because clearly there's a lot of attention and a lot of interest based on these videos. And this is the stuff that I love. And I tend to buy a lot of these things that I use on my daily routine, my daily life. So I thought this is the perfect opportunity to start showing you guys all the cool tech and all the top-notch stuff that you can be using in your studios and in your office spaces. So stick around, and this is what we're going to start doing. To start off, I'm going to be showing you this awesome monitor that I got as a second display, which nicely complements my Asus PG42UQ. Now, this is not an OLED monitor, but I thought that this design was totally unconventional, and when I first started seeing reviews, I didn't think I would be using a vertically installed or vertically integrated monitor into my setup. But after seeing this thing, I thought, you know what, I'd give it a try because I tend to look at a lot of documents that are in portrait format, edit a lot of videos, a lot of images in portrait orientation, and I thought maybe that would be a good first step to try something new. So I had three main things for a display. That was a high refresh rate, 4K resolution, and a vibrant display. And this monitor really checks the boxes for a lot of them. Let's dive deeper. So why did I choose the LG DualUp? Well, I know that when I was putting the studio together, I had an itch for a true secondary monitor because I felt that the MacBook Pro's built-in display was a tad bit too small considering how big my desk setup was. So I went through a monitor hunt looking for OLED, ultra-wide, ultra-large, but nothing seems to fit the bill until I borrowed a regular TN panel from my brother and simply rotated it 90 degrees and thought, wow, I think this is something really cool. Then I started looking around for square monitors and I saw that there's a lot of reviews on the LG DualUp. I thought maybe this thing is better in person. Usually something you see in pictures or something that you see online is really cool. So I went ahead and purchased it, and wow, this thing is truly beautiful. And at first glance, before turning it on, it was like holding a giant tablet. And all these ideas started to come to my head where, okay, what would be really cool to look at in this format? Stuff like picture frames was an idea that I had. And normally when I'm working, I tend to keep the secondary monitor as a beautiful display, just sort of giving me a calming effect while I'm working. And when I want to resonate ideas or think about stuff and keep a whiteboard on the side, this monitor is perfect for that. With that being said, these points itself have already covered two of my main needs, which is vibrant display and color accurate. The fact that it jives so well with my primary OLED display in physical height when I adjust it, an excellent IPS panel for those accurate colors and details, and of course the Ergo Stand itself, which is capable of making the monitor float so you can freely move it around. But overall, from a productivity standpoint, this monitor definitely checks all the boxes, and I've decided to take it for a spin in a different direction. However, although geared towards productivity, there are already several videos out there going through that with this monitor. But for me, since this is something that's going to be on my desktop 100% of the time, I was open to other ideas where I could use this monitor other than productivity. So having that high refresh rate was a must for me. And this monitor came with a standard 60Hz, which doesn't sound like much, but with a very good 5 millisecond response time, this was an ideal monitor for side gaming. This is a secondary monitor. So the way I would treat it is to put a casual games on the side so that I can take breaks every now and then where I didn't need a secondary monitor. And then if I wanted to play a game real quick, or if I want to switch to a real gaming experience, I simply flip a switch and I can engage with my game. So what do I think about the LG DualUp? Well, at first glancing back at this monitor when it first came out, I remember that it was something that caught my interest, but I think the biggest problem is that it wasn't readily available in stores, at least in Canada. I'm the kind of person who likes to see these things in person before making a commitment, and I think the reason why this monitor really didn't take off is because it didn't have the traffic or it didn't have the awareness that it deserved. But looking at this monitor now, it is truly worth getting it, and I regret not getting this sooner to add to my studio, but I'm here to tell you that this is something that is worth checking out. Whether you're a productivity buff, a person who handles a ton of documents, or even if you're a casual gamer, this monitor caters to everyone, and it really just depends on how you use it. So what do you guys think of the video? Did you learn something new? Did you see a different perspective about using a productivity monitor like the LG DualUp? If so, hit that like button. And again, this is going to be a series of different videos coming, and it's going to be really cool to see what new items or what new stuff you can add to your studio. And I'm getting a lot of new things coming in as well. The channel has grown exponentially and I have so much stuff to give away. So if this is something that excites you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And till next time, see ya.